is Shira, and today we will look at a third house sun. Now, the sun. The sun is how we express ourselves, our personal style. It is our core. And the house that the sun resides in our natal birth chart is very important because the sun is basically, in essence, who we are. It is also connected with our tastes and our opinions. It is connected with the good aspects and the not so good aspects in our personal birth chart. Yes, but no matter, it is our expression of our personal power, depending on our individual sun sign. Today, we are looking at the third house. The third house is ruled by Gemini and the planet Mercury. The third house is about expression. The third house is also regarding our communication, and depending on our sun sign and the aspects, it is connected with just how we express ourselves. The third house is also connected with brothers and sisters. It is also connected with local travel, but also travel in general. And the third house is that of vehicles and the neighbors and anything the like. It is the written and the spoken word. Now, if you are an Aries sun sign, you are ruled by the planet Mars. And Aries rules the head, so you are extremely intelligent, especially with the third house, as the third house is representative of intelligence. So therefore, Aries, you are very well-rounded in your studies and very likely your schooling. Now, that does depend also on the aspects, as with every sun sign, and how these aspects, good and not so good, affect your life and the planets in the other houses as well. But as a general rule, with the sun through the third house, you have a pertinent desire to tell it like it is. Kind of a combination of your Aries assertiveness and outgoing nature to really just speak your mind. You find yourself many a times as a leader and expressing those fine Aries opinions to many of those around you. And people somehow, Aries sun, sit up and listen because you, Aries sun, are a go-getter. Now, with Aries, with the third house, perhaps you are someone that has been rather outgoing in your local charities, in your neighborhood, and you can bet you very likely have been much of a leader. At the very least, you are very restless and are popular amongst those around you. or where you grew up, or, yes, in your local vicinity. You may be in charge or take charge in any kind of community efforts. People know that you will, Aries sun, get the job done. And as Aries, you must express yourself and your great breadth of knowledge in writing or telling people just the way you see it. And you are so good about telling people of your travels in all Aries style. Perhaps you are well traveled. Great professions here are as a travel agent, someone who is used to expressing themselves and getting people to listen to them. So perhaps you are a public speaker, Aries sun. And the third house deals with mechanics. Perhaps you have a lot of spatial ability, mechanical ability, or you are involved with communication and computers. And this can also include vehicles, because the third house deals with cars, trucks, and the like. So you may have a knack for this type of career. But you can bet, Aries rising, that whatever you choose to do, you are very knowledgeable. And people will appreciate your expressive ideals and very fascinating Aries sun point of view. The next sun we will look at through the third house is Taurus. So Taurus, you are ruled by Venus. Venus is indicative of beauty, form, and yes, style. And Taurans like food, and they like beauty, and yes, money. And as a third house sun of Taurus, you may find yourself the local banker, or you may communicate yourself through the stock market and find yourself a very communicative investor, because this Taurus sun is how you express yourself. Or perhaps you may find yourself a writer about investing or money. Or you may be connected with a bank in some way. Taurans also like food. You may have a particular knack for culinary efforts, and you may be an amazing cook or chef. Especially with the third house, you are wonderful about bringing your very Taurus sun ideas and culinary expression to other people. You may be very varied in other cultures of cooking, and yes, Venus rules fashion and fashion. And as everyone with a third house sun, well traveled, and possibly with a bit of a foreign flair in whatever you do. And with a third house sun, with all third house suns, you may have a knack for languages and may speak very beautifully as well, as Venus rules beauty and beautiful speech. But you can bet Taurus sun, however your mode of expression, is it will be very appealing and very beautiful. So do think about all the artistry and all the beauty you can bring to your profession, Taurus Sun. Now, the next sign through the third house is Gemini. And dear Gemini, you rule the third house because your planet Mercury is the ruler as your sun sign. So of all the 12 signs, you are the most expressive. You will probably find yourself as a youth as one who had a special knack for writing and communication. Perhaps you were interested in writing music or poetry, or there was always something that you felt very urgent to express to those around you, and you just had to write it down. Or because you're Gemini, Geminis are very good expressing themselves through their motions and their hands and your eyes. And so you may find yourself a very interesting person indeed, just by your expression alone. And Gemini, for you as a third house sun, the world is your limit. There is nothing that you can't do as long as you are expressing yourselves. You, Gemini, may find because you are so interesting and have so many facts and so much knowledge about this world that people are just drawn to you and what you have to say, whether it's in the written word, the spoken word. And you also, Gemini, may find yourself possibly a public speaker. Maybe you are a reporter, or you are working in the communications field, and this will prove very rewarding for you. And like other third house suns, not only are you very busy in your local community and with neighbors or brothers and sisters, this is another connection with the sun through the third house, but you will find that you have all kinds of communication that is very mechanically inclined. Perhaps you too could be involved with communications like computers or science or anything that is intellectually based. Because we're talking Mercury here and your sun sign is the ruler of a third house, you may find yourself a scientist or someone who is very involved with educational pursuits. Perhaps you are a teacher, because certainly Gemini with the third house sun, you are extremely knowledgeable, and your knowledge, dear Gemini, in any area is greatly appreciated. The next sign we will look at is Cancer. And Cancer sun, you are ruled by the moon. So the moon in your chart will be extremely important. But as a Cancer sun and the third house, Cancer is of caring. And you, Cancer sun, will express yourself through, as many other of the third house suns, through charity, and your charitable work is greatly appreciated. You are someone who could find yourself also in the medical professions because medicine and or counseling is connected with the Cancer caring and the moon and the warmth that you radiate. And people really love you, Cancer, because with a third house sun, Cancer, people can count on you to be there. And you express yourself through the written or the spoken word through your individual style of caring for others. Maybe you may find yourself writing about your connections with people because Cancers with the third house are people persons. And you find that you express yourself or you're writing, you're speaking, what have you, and connections with your local community is for the most part about your generosity and your sincerity and kindness. Perhaps you, kind of similar to Taurus, Cancer sun, are involved with cooking because similar to Taurus, Cancer, you love to taste the good food. And similarly, you may be one who is well-rounded and well-traveled, connected with cultures and various individuals in your travels. And because of your very giving nature, you may find yourself, yes, in the caring professions. Perhaps, Cancer sun, you are a counselor because you will have to help people and your communication is through the helpful love and understanding that you, well, communicate with others. Perhaps you may find yourself a physician because you are communicating your healing energy and caring nature with those closest. But nonetheless, Cancer sun, you may find your restless nature through the third house is always going to be about charity, whether it is a local charity or something perhaps more renowned on the internet or worldwide, or something in your local neighborhood. Because you have such a good heart, Cancer sun, your sun through the third house is all about caring for others through your Cancer heart. Now, we then move on to the sun in Leo. And oh boy, Leo, of all the different sun signs, you are one of the most creative with your sun in the third house. And Leo, especially you, because you are ruled by the sun. So therefore, you are a natural leader. Whenever you speak, people listen to you. And your career aims are without limit. But Leos of all signs are teachers. So you, Leo, through the third house, may find yourself as, yes, an educator. And because Leo, through the house of the third house and Mercury as its ruler, Leos are known to work very well with children. Whether you are a preschool teacher, elementary, or high school, or even college educator, you, dear Leo, will have to express yourself and your natural knack for creativity through the teaching professions, because Leo, you are very magnetic and extremely creative, and people just adore your very unique and creative style. Perhaps, Leo, with your need for expression through the third house, you are very good at, yes, fine or performing arts, but Leos are also very good at crafts. Perhaps you, Leo sun, are very good at creating like knitting or creating different crafts, and especially teaching other people. And that can be, of course, connected with the written or the spoken word. You would also be, as most through this third house sun, Leo sun, someone that would find you are good at writing as well as storytelling. Perhaps you may be an author, or you may have a blog or many blogs. But whatever you do, Leo sun, you will have to express your individual creativity. And you are another sun sign who has much experience through much walks of life, and people will find your interesting stories very original. But whatever you do, Leo, through the sun, through the third house, will have to be very creative. And this also, Leo sun, is very appreciated. Next, we have Virgo through the third house. Now, Virgo, you, like Gemini, are ruled with the planet Mercury. So therefore, Virgo sun, you will have all modes of expression available to you. You also, Virgo, however, are ruled through the sixth house, and the sixth house is also connected with food. So you, similar to some of the other sun signs, are very good with communicating about food, diet, or exercise. Maybe Virgo rising, you may find yourself very involved with nutrition or diet. Maybe you have written that particular book or many articles and blogs, which Virgo loves, by the way, about nutrition and organization. Who knows, maybe Virgo sun through the third house, you may find yourself an author of nutrition or exercise or a nutritionist, because this is what your passion is, Virgo, and your expression. Also, Virgo, ruling the sixth house, is connected with animals. And so you may be a veterinarian, or you may work closely with animals, Virgo sun. But your mode of expression through the third house sun, Virgo, is one of great organizational skills, and you're very discriminating. So any career for you or outlook, how you express yourself, will be a bit perfectionistic, but certainly organized. And having a sixth house connection through the third house, you just want to take care and nurture others, similar to Cancer. And Virgo, through the third house, you are very good with, yes, also caring for other people, making sure people get their vitamins and their exercise and they are doing well. So you may find yourself also involved with the medical professions, doctor, nurses, and great psychiatrists, because you are helping also, Virgo, through the third house. You are helping others to communicate their deepest feelings so that they can feel okay. So these are also very good professions for you, Virgo, through the third house. It's all about caring and understanding. And you are just ever so efficient and organized. And this, Virgo, is what your mode of expression is, either in the written or spoken word. Now, the next sign we will look at is Libra. Now, Libra, third house sun. Similar to Taurus, you are one who appreciates beauty. So your mode of expression, Libra, is about expressing beauty, form, and balance with groups of people. So you, Libra sun, you may find yourself a local organizer, and to some degree, because you are a cardinal sign and you do like to lead, you may find yourself heading off the local groups in your area or the different neighborhood charities and so on and so forth. As long as there are group efforts, and especially with the third house sun, Libra, you love to gather people and create harmony and balance. And perhaps you are someone who is involved with, say, because of your love for form, balance, harmony, you are involved also with artistry or music or fashion. Maybe you're an interior decorator and this is your mode of expression, either in the written word. And perhaps you are very familiar with groupthink and gathering people and organizing different groups as far as getting together and making group efforts and so on. Libras are known to be great matchmakers. So who knows, maybe somehow you're a love coach or a life coach, Libra, through the third house. But whatever you express, Libra sun, will have to be connected with, in general, many people. Now, that's not to say that you're not helping to create harmony and beauty in individuals' lives, because you are. But nonetheless, the Libra sun through the third house is appreciative of all forms of beauty and balance, and you are, especially Libra, a people person. And therefore, when you speak, it is about keeping the balance within your community and expressing many of varied interests in your travels and all the beauty of the world. And people appreciate that, Libra sun. Now, the next sign we will look at is Scorpio through the third house. And Scorpio sun, you are very powerful no matter what house your sun resides, but especially with the third house. Scorpio is expressive of secrets, or you have natural investigative talents. So therefore, Scorpio Scorpio through the third house, don't be surprised if you find yourself a natural investigator, a private eye. And also because of your knack for the community and your powerful Scorpio nature of secrets and helping others, especially with the sign and the planet Pluto. You may be somebody who is a fireman or a police officer. You are big in helping others in your locale and with people one-on-one. Your mode of expression is getting right in there, digging in, helping others, and really providing solutions, because that's what Scorpio is about, providing the solution and figuring out the deepest secrets. Also, Scorpios are known to be seekers and helpers, so you may find that you, dear Scorpio, through the third house, are also a counselor or a therapist, helping to get people look at their deepest needs. And this, Scorpio sun, is your mode of expression. Now we then move on to Sagittarius through the third house. And Sagittarius, you are ruled by expansive and generous Jupiter. So when you've got Sagittarius through the third house of communications, oh boy, Sagittarius, of all the signs, you love to travel. So therefore, you may find yourself, in particular, Sagittarius sun, a travel agent, or someone who is also an author about your travels and your experiences. Yes, also with different foods and culinary tastes, and meeting and greeting different people from all around the world, especially since you, Sagittarius sun, are connected with the ninth house. And the ninth house and the third house have much in common. So you could also be a well-traveled traveler, or you could find yourself, Sagittarius sun, an explorer. And you can be an explorer of worldwide travel, or you could be very good, especially connected with the ninth house, of speaking different languages. You may be an expert as a writer in different languages, or speak many languages. You could also be known as a translator, because we're combining the third house and the ninth house. But whatever it is, because you are a Sagittarius and through the third house Sagittarius, nonetheless, you are very outgoing and very expressive, a need for constant restlessness and travel, but in all gregariousness and enthusiasm. The next sun we will look at is Capricorn. So, dear Capricorn, yes, you as a third house sun are wanting to express and help individuals with their goals, because you see, Capricorn is connected with the 10th house, and also as a Capricorn and connected with Saturn, you are also very good at kind of getting people to connect with their goals and their ambitions. So, dear Capricorn, you might be very good at expressing yourself through the third house as a life coach or a counselor as well. You are very grounded and very focused, and you are a rock for many other people. And you are extremely sensible. Also, Capricorn, similar to Taurus, is connected with money and finance. So, Capricorn, you either are very good in dealing with your finances or helping people with their finances. So you could be very good as an accountant or a financier or someone who is connected with the stock market. And you may feel that, and Capricorn, you may feel that you have much to teach people as far as, yes, investing. And so therefore, Capricorn, you could be a great investor, or similar to Taurus, dealing with money and finance. But any mode of expression dealing with these goals and dealing with what is very important to us in life is exactly what Capricorn is about. And because of your very grounded and sensible nature, people will find your advice very appealing and very well-rounded. But hey, Capricorn, people know that you mean business. The next sign we will look at is Aquarius. And Aquarius with a third house sun. Oh boy, Aquarius, you are just so unique. And Aquarius, of all the signs, you love to express yourself in such originality and daring. And yes, because you, Aquarius, are associated with Uranus and the 11th house, you have a very unique mode of expression. Like the sign, your opposite sign of Leo through the third house, you are very creative, but you like an unpredictable and very unique bend to what your opinions are and what you have to say. Now, with Aquarius through the third house, you may be very unpredictable in your actions, and that's just the way you like it, or you are very unique, Aquarius, and unpredictable and different in what you have to say and how you express yourself. Now, the third house is with intelligence. And so Aquarius, you are connected with Uranus and you are connected with the 11th house. You may find yourself sought after for your great intelligence and knowledge, whether that's in a technical field or a scientific field. But you have a very unique and, that word again, creative way and mode of expression. And as such, you may find, Aquarius sun, that you in fact are a leader of sorts. Not because you are looking for it or you're the leader of groups, somewhat like the cardinal signs, like, for example, Capricorn, but because people are so fascinated by your very different and interesting communication. And yes, as all third house suns, you have much in the way of varied experiences, possibly culturally and worldwide, that people will find very fascinating. Your career efforts may be found with technology or communications. You're also someone that could be thought and sought out also as an educator, because what you have to say is so unique. And as an Aquarius, you have a need for freedom. So you may be somebody who is involved with activism or humanity. Who knows? Maybe you're involved with many charities and activism that deal closely with humanity. Now, finally, the next sun we will move to is Pisces. And Pisces, you of all the sun signs through the third house will feel a great need to express yourself through charity. And also, Pisces, you are a natural healer. So you may find yourself involved with the healing professions, such as, yes, a physician, a counselor. You are an individual, whether it's with your profession or personally, someone that either is going to a therapist and connecting with those who are very good in the counseling or healing professions, or you yourself are sought after for advice and caring and a healing touch. And that is not just healing as far as physical healing, Pisces sun, but you are also a healer as far as the psyche. And Pisces, you have a knack similar to Aquarius and Scorpio suns for the unusual or the metaphysical. You may find yourself an astrologer or, yes, a healer, or involved with alternative medicine of sorts, or healing others in the conventional style. But whatever you do, Pisces, your mode of expression with the written and or the spoken word is about caring, it is about healing. And because you have such heightened abilities of intuition, you may find yourself also in the profession of a psychic. Or perhaps you, Pisces, are involved with any profession where you have to protect individuals. Perhaps you, dear Pisces, may be good as a fireman or police officer, someone serving and healing the community. But as with all third house suns and through the third house of expression, nonetheless, as you can see, the expression and mode of communication is very unique to our individual sun signs. But hey, one thing is for sure, third house suns, you are very naturally communicative, versatile, and well expressed in your opinions, and ever so deeply appreciated because of it. If you'd like to get in touch with me, my contact information is down below. I give one-on-one readings and written reports. Please subscribe to this channel and press the bell notification. Until next time, many, many blessings.